Mhm.
Well, hi, friend. Nice to see you.
You.
And thank you so much. I mean, I guess it knocks out one of my questions. Where are you self-quarantining?
I'm in New York City. I'm up in Washington Heights. Yeah, so we're close to the hospital, just right over there.
Gotcha. And what day are you on?
Oh gosh, what is this? It's been at least a month, so it's 30
Yeah.
something.
It's April 16th. It's my sister's birthday. Shout out to Ashley Sullivan.
Happy birthday.
Right. What a way. But
my birthday is next Thursday. So in a week. My birthday is in 1 week.
Oh, you get to have a quarantine birthday too, a Corona birthday.
Yep.
Truly a birthday you will never forget.
Truly.
So hopefully we can hear what do you play at 7:00? Here we are.
Here we are. I play Rhythm of the Night by DeBarge.
All right, let's see everybody at home. Let's see if we can hear the streets of New York cheering for all of our front line.
Just gonna open this window here.
I love that we get to be a part of this.
All right. Oh, we're going out.
Oh, you're taking us on your phone.
Oh,
we're on location.
Woo! Can you kind of hear the clang? There's some it's not really caught on just yet. Yes!
That's so wild. I love it.
Way louder than this. Come on, guys! They're probably like, "Where's the music? There's our jam."
That's awesome. And New York City does that every day at 7:00.
Every single day at 7:00. Oh, there you go. A little more. They also are like stragglers. There'll be people that will start doing it. Like they'll catch on later. There's like waves of it. You know what I mean?
That's great. That's so special. And there's nothing like being a part of New York City during such a tragedy. It's definitely, it's a city that rallies together. And those are the things about New York that I miss the most is, that camaraderie and that finding solace in each other because it's, you truly are all into it, in it together. So.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, everybody at home, this is my friend Andre Jordan. I'm so thrilled to have him here to interview him. It is my privilege. Andre is making his Broadway debut in the upcoming production of the musical Diana. I am not only thrilled to celebrate him and introduce him to all you guys, but love to know about, his experiences with the city and what it's going through, and also to being part of a brand new musical that has been put on hiatus. So here we go. We're going to dive on in. And so, Andre, where did you grow up?
I grew up in South Jersey, just outside of Atlantic City. My mom and my dad both worked in the casinos growing up.
Are you a gambler?
Yeah.
What do you table? What do you blackjack?
So like blackjack is like when I'm like, you've got a little bonus cash or something. We've got a little more to play. Like I don't love the slot machines. My mom loves the slot machines. Like that.
Is she one of those? She's one of those. Like her little.
She's great at it. Like she knows which ones to go to. Like she knows which ones are the lucky ones. Like she's really really good at. Shout out to my mom who's definitely watching.
Oh my gosh, your mother is amazing. So nice to see you.
Yes, she came to Shrek a few times. Erin and I were in Shrek national tour back in 2012, 11, 12, I think it was.
Yeah, and we'll touch base on that whole thing for everybody.
But so I grew up in New Jersey, South Jersey, Galloway Township.
How far is that from Manhattan for you?
That's 2 hours.
That's not bad.
No,
that's not bad at all.
I never came up to the city not until high school was when I first really.
When you first moved up here.
Or started.
So, I mean, you're kind of a local by association.
I've also been in New York for 15 years now. It'll be 15 years.
Has it been that long? Yeah. Wow. All right. So you're a New Yorker. You're Jersey and New York. You're the ultimate hybrid. Yeah. So when did you start performing?
Oh gosh. I was really young. I started out doing singing first. So the choirs in elementary school were the first time that I started being in front of people and singing. I was one of those kids that was always singing along and dancing and doing the dances to anything that he saw. Oh wait, hold on, sorry. 1 second. We have to stop because it's so loud out here.
It's happening. It's happening.
Oh yeah.
Yes, New York.
Oh, this got so much better. I was one of those kids that was always in front of the TV a lot. So like I loved watching music videos and learning the dances. I loved pretending like I was in the movie. Like I was always active and things like that. But performance wise, like on stage, started out like elementary school and then middle
Do
school.
you remember like what was your favorite music to jam to? Because we're close to the same age.
I knew
like
my cousin and I knew every single dance step to Aaliyah's "Are You That Somebody" from the Dr. Dolittle soundtrack. Are you that somebody?
That is so specific.
Every single one.
I knew every dance step to Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yeah.
I am older than you, but I was obsessed with Thriller at like 5 years old. How disturbing is that?
No, makes total sense. I have my first like ever like play that I can remember doing was in kindergarten, actually, and we were doing The Very Hungry Caterpillar in my class, like just like with like a sheet up. The kids like, you know, stepped out and like held pieces of like fruit and like, oh, the caterpillar ate this. I was the butterfly. My mom made me wings to wear. So like I can remember being behind the sheet and I came out at the very end as like the butterfly that he turns into. And
you had the cameo. You had like the star cameo.
But now I just can remember sitting backstage or like what that was. And I remember just like knowing there was an audience out there. Like that's the first time that I can like really remember being like, oh, I think this is.
So would that be considered your first show for you?
I've always said that. That was my first show.
Is that like, is it on your resume? Did it get bumped?
But my mom will tell you if she ever sees you.
So what was the first Broadway show you ever saw? So I'm sure it was early since you lived in Jersey, so you got to be exposed.
We didn't get up, like I said, when we were younger. Like I didn't actually see a lot of shows when I was a kid. My first show wasn't until my sophomore year of high school.
Oh, wow.
With my drama club. And we went to go see, we were supposed to see my freshman year, Sweet Smell of Success, but not enough people bought tickets for that. So we took the drama trip, which is like, now looking back, I'd be like, well, yeah, I wouldn't go either. But
I was like, is that on the wall of Joe Allen? It might be.
Maybe. But so we went to see Into the Woods my sophomore year.
That was your first Broadway. Was that the
Vanessa Williams, Laura Benanti, yeah, it was.
Oh wow, that's a good one.
Oh my gosh, and that was my first like Stephen Sondheim experience. Like it changed the whole
everything. Game that was the game changer for you.
That was major. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, what have been other than for all of the viewers at home, Andre and I did the national tour of Shrek together in 2011, 2012, and Andre was the donkey.
Oh God.
And we were kind of like the end of an era for that show. I like to like tell a lot of people that, you know, even though we did the non-union tour, I like to say our creative team finally created the production that they were almost the most proud of, because we were an amalgamation of the Broadway company, the West End company, and the First National.
For sure.
So I feel like we kind of finally were what they all eventually kind of wanted to put on stage.
Yeah, the license.
Yeah.
That's the one that became,
Yeah.
And since then has been that.
It's been the one, is that one? Because I haven't done it outside of tour, and you've done it now, you said multiple times at tons of amazing theaters. Is that the one that's licensed, is the version we did?
Yes, but there are variations. Like there is like some like West End stuff in there. Sometimes, I guess maybe there's one version or two versions of it. But the only thing that's ever really different are like the fairy tale creatures, because I think most theaters take liberties with that, what they can afford to make.
You can. That's so crazy. So yeah, we did that for a year, and I like to say with that production, it was hands down one of the most, you know, we both had toured a bunch before, and it was hands down the most talented group of people I've ever had the pleasure of sharing a stage with.
For sure.
It was an amalgamation of like all of the, at this point in the touring hub that was happening in the non-union world, it was almost like the best of the best was all assembled in. So it was, I thought it was it was not only just the talent, but just a beautiful production. And like, I think we all felt very fortunate to be
big time.
Of such a great creative team. And still to this day, the costume design for that show is hands down one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen.
I agree.
Yeah.
And there's something really exciting, like, you know, I've been doing this for like 15 years, but to think of like that time in my life when I was just starting to do the tours and we were all like younger then. We were like, it's, I don't know, like it's special. Like, I'm sure that we were bringing a type of energy that was just really different. And I know that like other tours felt that way when you go out that young, and I'm sure like anyone now that's touring, you get to work with the people that eventually you come up with, and you get to see each other really grow. So it's really cool to, when you're younger, you're doing these shows with these people, and everyone's so talented, and you're like, yeah, everyone's fucking incredible. Like, oh, I'm sorry, I can curse on here.
It's okay.
And then to see everyone's like growth,
watch their journey.
What their journey is awesome. Like,
and it's so fun. It's been so fun to watch you. Like, so what was your favorite thing with Shrek? Because we've got so many Shrek friends out there, and there is a theater here doing Shrek. They, thank goodness, got to postpone their production. I believe it's Carrie Players is doing it, and hopefully there's quite a few of the cast members who can watch this and see this. But what is for you like playing Donkey, since you've done it at what you did at Sacramento, you've done it at
Sacramento. I did Tuacahn, the year before that, and then before that was PCLO.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So what is your favorite thing about portraying that character?
Gosh, everything. Like, he brings me so much joy. He brings everyone so much joy. And like, always comes around like when I need him. Like, so the first time I did it was when we were like 24, 25. And then the next time wasn't until I literally turned 30, that contract, that year, or whatever that was. So like, to play him in different spans of my life, and like, every single time I've done him, it's different, and like it's always different, but like it feels like so much.
It's home. It's so comforting.
Yeah, it's very comforting.
I tell a lot of people about the costuming of you and Lucas, and so have you worn your costume?
Yes. One time. and it just happened this last time at Sacramento. It
had
my
really?
name in it, Erin. It had my name in it. It was insane. Like, I saw.
Wait, was my costume there? Was very.
Yeah, it was. Yes, it was. Lady Gnome was there.
For anybody who wants to know.
Fairy Godmother, she was worn. She was in the show. Literally our entire thing. Lady Gnome was there, but they didn't use Lady Gnome. Do you remember Lady Gnome?
Oh my God, I love Ryan Rubeck, if you're watching, Lady Gnome brother.
Yeah, it was literally our entire costumes. I can't remember whose I first. It was Pinocchio's. I walked into my
You're like,
and I saw it, and I was like, oh, our shit's here. Our stuff's here.
That's so awesome. I mean, also too, because your costume is completely looped leather. So anytime, like, I always love telling people that with you and Lucas, the amount, because like a lot of high schools are starting to do it, and a lot of like community theaters, and I keep just being advocates for for you and for Shrek and for Donkey, being like, if you costume them in heavy materials, you've got to ice them down. Yeah. And I always tell them about all of the ice packs you guys wore. One of my favorite stories to share is when we played New London, Connecticut. Remember this? We were outside. Girls bus. The boys were in a giant truck. We had no set because we couldn't fit it in there. And the only people, I was dying of hypothermia because like I was one of two characters that had exposed skin. It's January in Connecticut. But Shrek and Andre Donkey were living their best lives. They were just outside walking around. Because
like popping into like all of the cars, like, I'm like, you guys okay?
You guys okay? Talking to people because they were like finally feeling so good in their costumes and not.
It was incredible. Stroke. Incredible. There was like one time where I fell I had to be like on the ground for a while, and a wind breeze came in because we had to keep the doors open. And I just was like, oh.
So. Oh gosh, I love that story because I was dying. I was like, if I don't get pneumonia, I can't get COVID. Like, I didn't get pneumonia during Shrek. I'm good. But I'm so glad to see that you. Oh, say one of your lines. Say a Donkey line for me.
Oh gosh.
Stay on the spot.
I don't know.
What's the waffle line? Do your parfait line.
Oh gosh. Yeah. It's gonna come to me.
Okay.
It's gonna come to me in like just a second.
Or do onions. Do the Shrek onion line.
No, I have parfaits. It was coming to my.
Okay.
Parfaits. Oh gosh, that's all lost. I'm losing.
Okay, it's okay. It's okay. If it comes back to you in the midst of any of the sentence,
great. I'll just jump
blurt it out. So let's see. Who in your life, who were teachers or performers who influenced you on your journey to wanting to pursue this as a craft outside of a hobby?
I would say, oh my God. Sorry, I just saw.
I know. I was like, I haven't even seen anybody's saying comment. Oh, that's me. I need to mute this. Oh yeah, look at the people who are saying hi. Yeah. So who's influenced you?
First and foremost, when I got to high school was when I really started to like figure out that this is something I could do as a career.
Uh-huh.
You know? And my drama teacher, Chip Garrison, who's probably watching this, he was like my all-time mentor into like moving me into like some, you know, where it was just doing plays into like really taking it seriously and disciplining myself to be prepared to go into the next phase of whatever that was after high school. So I give that man all of it. Like he's just like, and I mean, I have other great teachers that like, that I sang with growing up, you know, like,
but he was the one.
Yes. Cause like, it's the theater thing, like, and really like, I don't know, got to the core of me for that. But like, he was the second person I told that I booked Broadway. And I always told him. That was my mom.
Trust me, I was like, that's a question down the line for sure. That's awesome. I mean, so, and what other, for Broadway performers, like, you know, as kids and as young teenagers, people we like, you know, idolize, and we, you know, we would listen to recordings and cast recordings. Who were your people?
Oh my gosh, Titus Burgess.
Which, you know, I did my first professional show ever with Titus.
I think so.
I did a really bad Christmas show with Titus. And I was like, and now I'm like, this is so weird.
Titus and I, he's fantastic. We're very good friends. I met him like 5-6 years ago, and we hung out a bunch.
That's awesome. He's such a fantastic human being.
He's fantastic. And to see like where he's gone and where he's going is very exciting.
Yeah.
Exciting. But I remember being, you know, in high school just going on like Broadway.com and watching just trailers of musicals.
Yeah.
And like when I saw like, I can still remember watching Titus's for Good Vibrations. That was his debut. Rent was also major for me. Like that was also the first contemporary musical I really ever heard.
I think that really just had an impact on a lot of us
Yeah. The 3 musicals that like really changed my life were Cats. That's what like the first time that I like really.
Really?
I saw Cats in the 6th grade, and then like that's when I decided to do plays in middle school after that because of Cats. Yeah.
That's awesome.
The PBS version.
Have you done Cats? Have you done it?
Not done Cats.
Bucket list.
Real shame. So yeah, what's it just?
That's awesome. So what was your first Broadway audition?
Ooh, do I remember this? It was for The Grinch. The first time that The Grinch was coming to Broadway.
Awesome.
Christmas shows. This is like 2000.
That must have been a fun one.
7 or 8. I did the dance call and the singer call, but nothing really.
Yeah. But
in the beginning, I really did not want to like audition for anything major yet. I just wanted to lay low.
To build up you're like, I want to pull a sneak attack. But like, it's still daunting to go, this is my first Broadway audition. I'm auditioning for a Broadway show. That's so wild. So listen, let's get into the good stuff. So you, congratulations, are going to be making your Broadway debut. So
I consider that I have done it, because like for me it's like, you know, the first day of the preview is like actually bringing it on the stage.
Yeah, you got to do it. So you've had your preview, you just haven't had your opening.
My opening.
Yes.
Yeah. I have on a Broadway stage.
You're doing Diana. So tell everybody who's watching at home, give us a really great press-approved synopsis of the show.
Great. So Diana is the true musical story of Princess Diana. We pretty much start at the time of her meeting Charles and their relationship, and then the marriage and what that all does to her, and the involvement of Camilla and the 3 of them, their love triangle. So it really is just about like the marriage. So we don't really go into like,
okay, you don't
child. No, we start right at the we meet them, and then we go to the end when we lose her when she passes.
Wow. So you do touch on her death.
We do touch on her death very, very beautifully.
Yeah, so, I was gonna say, I'm sure it's done in a very elegant,
it's our, you know, creative team that also did Come From Away. So they.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. Same team.
Delicate material.
They know it. This is their wheelhouse.
Yeah, for sure.
That is fantastic. And who is playing Diana for you guys? Tell our friends.
Gina DeWall, ladies and gentlemen.
She looks fantastic.
Incredible. She is incredible. Like, shout out to the wig department too. The wig department has been like, there are times where we're backstage and like in the darkest, I'll look fast and my heart will stop because
it's uncanny. She's giving you that like that sensible, that 80s swoop back. It looks
it's coiffed. It doesn't move. It's right.
Yeah, and so what is your role in the show?
So I'm in the ensemble. We have a pretty nice big ensemble, and everyone plays some people have like, different featured roles. I play Colin Trimming, who is Prince Charles's security officer. So I'm always kind of with him. I've got lines. Can you believe it?
You're ensemble. You're featured ensemble.
Okay. So yeah, it's I've got cute little feature, but it's such a good show.
Is it a dance show at all? I mean, is it? It is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Wow, interesting. Because it Come From Away, I'm a terrible slap. I'm a terrible person. I have not seen Come From Away. I know I missed out. Come From Away. Okay, well, you're just as bad as me. But I mean, I feel like sometimes it's not like a 42nd Street. You know, we're not talking like chorus line material where like that there seems to be more movement. But this, you see, is full on production numbers and choreography.
Yeah. So Kelly Devine, who's our choreographer, she also did Rock of Ages.
Rock of Ages, yeah.
Margaritaville. And Come From Away.
Oh yeah, so you guys are dancing.
Oh, we're dancing down. She's so incredible about, I was watching an interview that she did when she talked about what her idea was for this in terms of creating new vocabulary.
Yeah.
And like, you can just like always thinking of what's something you haven't seen before, like what's something that's fresh, but also like within the
context of the story.
Which is actually a pretty cool time space because we're in the 80s. Like
you're in the 80s. Like that's your wheelhouse.
So like the music is going to be dope to play with, to dance with. Like there's a lot of great working together from the whole team.
That's awesome.
There to just build it up.
That's fantastic. So when did you first? Because a lot of people watching, like when you start auditioning, when you get to a Broadway show, you book a Broadway show. There is a long epic journey into getting that call. Yeah. When did you first audition for the production?
I first auditioned for the production in July.
July of
2019.
2019. Okay.
And then it was just like a regular. The first time they had announced it, it was for a workshop. So
did you just go to like an EP? You went to an EPA?
I went to the course call.
Course call. Okay.
Yeah. And I have to say this a little bit before because this is pretty important to the story. My friend Khalifa and I had been having these conversations about like, what aren't we doing in the room to get to where we really want to be? Like, let's like right now, like let's change it up. Like, let's go in there. Let's do something different. Like, what are we gonna do? So we're like, well, like, so when we're doing that working, so we were, picking different songs for ourselves, like deciding that we're gonna start going dressed in costume because apparently you do have to do that nowadays. They told us not to back in the day.
Well, then I was doing that years ago and it didn't work.
Well, now it's back. It's back in. You have to come. You have to come dressed.
I guess I'm moving back.
Because they see so many people now. I know that's no really excuse, but like
you got to stand out.
Video submissions in this, they also have to like see you in it a little bit. They have to. You have to kind of give them like a.
So you're saying walk in and walk in as almost like
you're going in to play Seymour. Glasses, even if they're
Seymour. It is right. It's completely opposite of what we had been told to do years ago.
But like give it a little nod or that kind of thing. So I started doing like trying those new things. Went in for the ECC for Diana. Decided I was going to start singing Santa Fe from Newsies as like one of my new audition songs. Shout out to Sherry Sanders. I got her audition cuts, music notes audition cuts. Go over there. She's got a ton of pop rock stuff. I mean, anything you could think of.
Awesome.
Went in for that, and then like it went great, sure. And then I was like, we'll see. And then I had from that first audition in July, I had 4 or 5 callback auditions.
4 or 5, and what they just brought you back to dance, read material.
Came back and was getting like Colin stuff. I was getting other different covers and things.
Yeah.
Because they were pretty open to saying that like a lot of the male roles are open. A lot of the male ensemble is open.
Yeah.
Good amount of the females too, but like most of the guys. So I was down to the finals for that, and that was like 5 or 6, and then didn't hear anything. And then about a week or 2 after that, I guess someone might have dropped out of it because I got called back in again. And it was me and literally, I kid you not, maybe 30 completely different guys that I had never seen before. And I was the only one there that had known that the combination. I was the only one. So I was like,
you felt so good. You're like,
I did. I was like, okay, sure. Like, this is set for me. Whatever. Do that. They cut everyone down. It's just 4 guys. We all do the dance one by one. Blah blah blah. Love it. Great. Heard nothing. Then that was in like August, and then in October, by then they had announced that they were coming to Broadway. So now we're having their Broadway auditions. So I went.
And this is before though you did the out of town.
This is I did the out of town before I did Sacramento.
Yeah, before
So
Sacramento or after?
Sacramento was May, June. The audition was in July.
Gotcha. Okay.
So then we're in October, and they posted again that they were doing auditions. So they have another of auditions for the Broadway things, and I hadn't heard anything. And I was asking people, like, should I go in? Like, what should I do?
Yeah. When is it too much?
Was it too much? Like, it's been a while since it's been like 2 months. Like, I don't know. And I don't know. I didn't know if they didn't keep me before because they didn't like, you know what I mean? So I was like, I'll just show up. What's the worst? I'll get up in the morning, and the worst they could say is go. So I go into to sing, and I open the door, and casting goes, don't worry, you don't have to sing. You're coming back. We're sending you a bunch of things. You're totally fine. Don't worry about it. Have a good one. So then I like closed the door. That had never happened to me before. And
That's
I was like,
amazing.
So then like that day I got like sides and stuff to come in again. And then we danced on Halloween. The callback was like the next day, the final, maybe the week after that's the final, following week.
Yeah.
And then there was one final day that was like a Thursday, and then I found out the next day.
Oh, so you found out pretty quick.
I found out very fast.
That's awesome.
Last day I was like, okay, I've done everything I can do. I'll let it go. I've done this before. Like, I'll wait a week and we'll see what happens. But like,
and at this point too, it's like you did all you could possibly do. You're like one shake from giving them a pint of blood. You're like, and your firstborn child. You're like, this is it. What more do you want from me?
Because also between the Halloween dance call and the last one, there was probably like 1 or 2 more days between that. So there was.
It's a lot. And that's the thing is like these Broadway auditions, it's like everyone thinks, oh, you book these Broadway shows, and well, it's like you fight for your right to be there.
You have to tick off you have to be able to make sure that you are pitch perfect for the music director, that your acting is dope for the director, that you can dance. You have to make sure like you have.
And then you hopefully are a vision for the costume designer and like
producers like you, because I mean I was in front of producers. Almost, they came to everything. They were.
Oh yeah, I know a couple of your producers, and they're lovely.
Oh, they are wonderful. Shout out to Lee Rich. We love you. Oh my gosh,
yeah, you've got a really solid team heading your show. You're very, very fortunate.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So with that, when you got the call,
yeah,
I think you kind of touched on before. Officially, who was the first person you phoned?
My mom was the first person.
Of course.
So
And how did she react?
I was already screaming, bawling. Yeah. Well, she called me the night before, like after the audition was over, and was just like, so, and I was like, I remember just sitting in my living room, and I was like, yeah, it happened. You know?
Gotta let it go. Leave it.
I don't want much attention. Whatever. She was like, okay. I was like, I'll just call you when I know something. So I was working at Bowmore Lanes at Chelsea Piers. You ever been to Bowmore Bowling Alley down there?
Yeah.
That was one of my day jobs. Those waiting tables there. So
Hustle's real. Yeah.
I was getting up to go for my shift, taking the dog Sparkles outside. This was at like 9. I woke up to take her outside. I came back in, and there was an email from my agent saying, call me. And my boyfriend was getting ready for work as well. And I just called him, called him back. And then he just screamed, guess who's going to Broadway? And then I just let out just like, ah! Like I just screamed and I just cried. Like I cried.
I'm about to cry for you.
So happy. And then I was like, I during the whole process read for literally everything. So I was like, oh, they probably want me for a swing. Like,
Yeah, because when you get put through all that material many times, you're like, I'm a swing. Because like, yeah.
I've been a swing before and I had expressed interest in that, blah, blah. So and after I like stopped screaming, I was like, what am I doing? What am I doing? Fully expecting him to say swing. He was like, you're playing the role of Colin and you're understudying. That's now it's changed, but I at one point was understudying another part. And I was just like,
you're like, I'm in the show!
Screaming and like shaking, calling my mom and then telling her, and then I had to go to work. And like
you're so like 2 weeks notice, Bowmore Lane. 2 weeks notice.
Well, it's funny. So like this was in November. We were having a developmental lab rehearsal in December, and we weren't officially starting until January 20th. So I knew from November 8th, and I couldn't say anything until they announced it.
Yeah.
Before we started rehearsal.
That's the minute you get told you were like locked into secrecy. Like for friends at home, like you book a Broadway gig, you can only tell like 5 people in your literally immediate family circle because you can't publicize it till stuff's signed. And especially, I mean, not even with like tour you get your contract, you're like, yay, but like, you gotta wait for the
stuff. Things are always changing and without you even thinking about or knowing about it. So
Yeah, that's so wild. Oh my God, I love that.
It was a great day. Like, oh my gosh, such a good day. And like to go into like my day job, like, you know, I've had many jobs.
Yeah.
In New York for a long time, and two at a time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The walking into that like
I
space.
can't even imagine.
Oh my gosh, everyone was getting free stuff from me that day. I was like, refill. Like I was not. I didn't care.
You're like, I'm Diana.
I was like swiping stuff, putting stuff in. Oh, they didn't make it as extra. Like I was. Oh.
That's awesome. You were Santa Claus.
I was Santa Claus. I was.
That's some, I love that so much for you. Like I mean, and I'm asking you that as your friend. Like I was like, God, what I wanted to know about it. That's so awesome. So in shifting into that, obviously you guys, when was your started previews on what day?
Oh gosh, March 2nd.
March 2nd. So you got to do how many weeks of previews before?
1.5 weeks.
Okay.
So technically, we didn't get to do like a full first week only because on Thursday, one of our leads vocals got very badly damaged. So we had to cancel the show. Because we were in tech all before that, and like we did not have there was no time to do put-ins. There was no time,
yeah.
There was no time of understudy rehearsals whatsoever that had been happening up until then.
Yeah.
So it was just
and then
reviews. It was what it was. We went the next day, so we did that Monday through Saturday, and then we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And then the fateful
Yep.
The COVID.
There'll be a name for it, or the Broadway people will come up with a name for it.
Yeah, it's like y'all come up with some kitschy would come up with a slap down.
Right.
So you guys though are fortunate from what we've been seeing outside in other states, not being in the hub and being in Manhattan. You do look like you are going to be one of the surviving productions that does get to come back to Broadway. We've seen, a lot of postings that some shows are not getting to come back. Beetlejuice is not. A couple plays I feel have been had a dead end. Yeah. So you guys are very, very lucky to look like you will be having an opening. Have you been graced with any form of a timeline?
No, timeline wise, no. Our producers have been incredible with communicating with us every single step of the way. Our opening night, what was supposed to be our opening night, we all had a big Zoom party.
Cute. What was supposed to be your official opening night?
March 31st.
Okay.
So we did that night, and they were so sweet to us and just telling us just to keep our heads up and that they're still
don't forget the show.
Don't cut your hair too late.
Yeah, please don't get 50. Don't gain the COVID-19 or just not altering stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So they don't know a time essentially. Gotcha. Like when that news came out earlier this week about pushing it from the 12th to the
7th. June.
Yeah, that was some news that broke a little too early because I think no one told anyone.
Yeah, I heard that was a shock to the Broadway community that no one had been privy to that prior to it going to media, which is a little shady, but
it's a little shady. But I mean, we all feel that like whenever that time is that we'll be back. That's of course going to come with so many. It's just going to be new. It's just going to be a trial.
Yeah, it's a new Broadway.
New
white way.
New white way. Maybe.
New white way. Did I coin the phrase?
So timeline-wise, we don't have a date or anything yet. So.
But I'm glad to hear though that she's just she's on a little bit of a hiatus. She's not dead, which is really awful to say because it's awkward, Erin.
Just on pause.
Just Diana on pause. So, how are you processing all that? I mean, as it is already what you guys are going through, and obviously I'm a year and a half removed from living in New York after 20 years. I'm dealing with a lot of issues with being self-quarantined, and I'm in Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, because I'm feeling for my New York family. How are you dealing with your quarantiness on top of that massive halt to like what was your monumental moment?
Yeah.
How are you processing that?
Well, I think in the beginning was very much, even like when we were still rehearsing and the stories were getting bigger and like it was gaining momentum, and like part of me knew that this was probably going to happen, but I was just like denial. Like I did not want to believe that the shows could shut down, I was like making things up in my mind. Like, well, you know, maybe some of the shows will shut down, but we'll stay open.
Yeah.
Like I was trying to
like stay positive.
Oh, like full like denial bargaining. Yeah, I was just trying to, and then once it all kind of happened, I was so sad. And then, you know, everything, the whole world was really fast. You know what I mean? Like the show shut down, and then the next day was Friday the 13th, and like everything was just so crazy. And like, you know, once I got down home to New Jersey for a little bit and got to kind of process the grief of all that, you know what I mean? Like, because it really was like I was and still have moments of grieving this and missing out on this or not doing this, knowing that like this is when I'm supposed to be doing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Then I just kind of remember all of it. So in terms of processing it, I feel like I'm now getting to a place where like the show part, I'm letting it go a little more. It's out of my control. I'm feeling stronger about knowing that we are definitely coming back, that it's a pause. Like I'm dealing with that pause is longer, better than in the beginning, when I was just being a brat about it and didn't want to believe that it was happening. I'm a little more like, I'm here now.
Is there a little bit of you though that is still got that tiny bit of reserve that's like a little bit scared, I'll believe it when I see it feeling?
Oh, for sure. This is show business. Like I've seen weirder worse things. Like, yeah, anything, you know, and it's like but I feel comforted in knowing that, like, you know, we weren't the only show that got stopped. You know, us and like 6 was supposed to have their opening night that night that it all shut down. The opening. Yeah, opening night. Shout out to Britt Mac. I don't know if she's watching this, but Britt Mac, she plays Anna Cleves. We did Amos Behavior at the Phoenix Theater. I love her to pieces. So yeah, I mean, like now it's better, you know, we're back in our home. We put in an accent wall. So like we're doing a lot of things to like make the whole thing a lot easier and finding some type of regiment and
it gives you something to look forward to, which
really does. And like, and being in New York, like feeling New York tough, New York strong, like
there's nothing like it. Like,
and, I know we're gonna get through. I know we're gonna get through this.
What makes me just so happy for you, because I know a lot of shows have unfortunately not been able to be as lucky as you guys. So I'm sure there's definitely a lot of and the Broadway community is just so strong. It's just absolutely so strong and so special. How do you feel in general when Broadway does open back up at whatever time is deemed safe by Governor Cuomo? What do you feel change-wise is going to be implemented? How do you feel that there's going to be a shift? Like, what do you think?
It's tricky because, like, as much as, you know, New York is gonna probably be one of the first people to get through this faster, we're also like a hub of tourism. So like in terms of people actually still wanting to come to us is tricky. I'm sure everything will be a lot cleaner. Which kind of like there's a little bit more to my heart. You can like to know that like I'll step out into Times Square for the first time in months and that it will be just a little bit cleaner. I mean, in terms of like that, I think that's kind of it. I don't know.
I mean, do you think that, I mean, because we've been playing with a lot of different scenarios, even like in regional houses where, you know, they start, you know, as I think just the press conference, it just was like literally, I was watching right before this, they're starting to implement these phases. You know, if Broadway does open up, like, do you think that there's survival in where they put you guys at half capacity?
Right. Like, what does that do? Yeah.
Like, what does that do with you know, it's just gonna be fascinating and to watch it all unfold. And is it like, it was selling at half capacity, is it going to be making money for the show to sustain? There's a lot of elements behind producing, because I got, you know, super involved in it prior to me leaving. So at least I started learning a lot of the mechanics and the financial economics behind what it takes to put a show that's worth millions and millions of dollars.
Yeah.
And that's the stuff for me that I sit there going, how?
Yeah. We have, I don't want to give anything away, but there's a moment in Diana where we have this prop that breaks, and this specific prop, every time it breaks, costs us like $700.
Maybe we can like downsize on that.
For the moment, you need it for the moment, but
don't break that. Don't break it.
Understand like how much really goes into like every single aspect, and to make something at the level at which, you know, is Broadway like that. like it looks so cool. Everything looks magical because like it is.
It is magical.
Magic.
Sometimes too, back in like, the 60s and 70s where you're looking at it took only like, 4 to 5 million or 6 million was a big number for a Broadway show. Like now we're putting shows that are $24 million. I mean, we might see a resurrection of just, I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I thought about that. I was like, some of these
I actually haven't really considered, or like the rebirth of like a off-Broadway thing, smaller houses, because like is that the answer too? Like just off-Broadway comes back first, just to like get an idea, just to test run it to see how's it doing.
I'm definitely curious to obviously watch it unfold for you guys, and hopefully, like, I mean, I think about it every day. So, and also too, like, it might be just weird to look in the audience and see people wearing masks. Like, you can't see people smile, you can't hear people laugh. Like that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I will go for a run in my neighborhood, and people like, I'll be in a mask, and I'll be like, hey, but like, you can't.
It's a really trippy thing.
Yeah. So it's definitely. So what with living in the city right now and dealing with the pandemic, what are the things for you that have been the most challenging?
Grocery shopping. It's too much because like they've implemented, they have the things where they put the marks down, you stay in your
street. Yeah, we have that down here too.
And here on our street, we've got like 4 grocery stores in walking distance. You know what I mean? So there are a lot of options. Got the C-Town over there, Superfood. But I know we went the other day, and just to be, it's not even the closeness of people. It's to see everyone with the mask.
It's scary.
With like nothing on the aisles. Like it's scary. It feels so like, am I on a movie set? Like what's
happening? You're like, where's the zombie?
Yeah. So that was a little like
out of paper towels and toilet paper.
No, we're great. We're so solid.
And you said I went to the Harris Teeter yesterday, and we don't have any. So
wow. You go to Rite Aid over here. I had to go to Rite Aid today, and they had like
all the things.
Tons, all of it.
So crazy. So while you're passing the time, what has been your vices? Like, what have you been binging on?
Okay.
Video channels? Like, what is
First, I watched Tiger King. Did you watch Tiger King? Yeah.
I mean,
am I American?
Quarantined, of course.
That was like the first major event of like really helping us get through like those first couple.
That's what bonded all of America for that.
All together. It's beautiful.
Joe Exotic will never know what he did.
Oh, gosh, bless him. I love RuPaul's Drag Race, so the current season is happening right now. I have a Nintendo Switch, so my boyfriend and I have been playing Animal Crossing. Like it's going out. Actually, I think he's playing it
right now. Currently, as we speak.
We love it. We love Animal Crossing. I've been working out, doing a lot of home workouts. Having a dog is great because at least getting out of the house, giving us a reason to go out and walk around is wonderful.
A reason to,
yeah.
Responsibility.
And I've also been playing my ukulele a bunch. Her name is Brandy. I've been
Brandy. Can you play us a quick tune?
Oh my gosh, I have to go grab it. It's in the other room. Is that okay?
Go. The people will wait. Let's see. Do we have any friends at home? Does anybody have any questions for Andre? I'm looking right now. If you have a question. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. All right, Brandy.
Oh, wow.
Brandy, give me the goods. Play me a quick tune.
Okay.
30 seconds.
You hear that?
Yeah.
I was sick and tired of everything when I called you last night from Glasgow. All I do is eat and sleep and sing, wishing every show was the last show. Ugh. There are moments where I think I'm going crazy, and it's gonna be alright. Everything will be so different when I'm on the stage tonight. Sing along. Tonight the Super Trooper beams are gonna find me. I remember the words. Like I always. Yeah. Somewhere in the crowd there's you.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that. You've done that show a couple of times, eh?
Twice? 3 times? Twice.
Yeah, you've done. I was like, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to age into my Tanya world.
Oh, yes.
So we're getting into, I've been watching a lot of interviews, and I've actually been interviewed by a couple of people, and it's fun because they're doing these like just fun little fast recaps at the end of just like, I'm going to call mine the favorites.
Yes.
So first thing that comes to your mind,
Ready.
Let's do it. All right. Color.
Blue.
Food.
I love so many foods. Duh, cinnamon buns.
All right, your favorite restaurant in New York City, shout out.
My favorite restaurant in New York City. Oh, Hilltop Park Ale House on 157th and Broadway. Ding.
Any specific cuisine that you order there all the time?
The Korean barbecue wigs.
Perfect. All right, actor or actress?
My favorite, oh gosh, I've got a bunch of favorite actresses. So can I just say?
Right, yes.
Sarah Paulson, Betty White, and oh my gosh, Sarah Paulson, Betty White, and oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name. Omo.
It's okay. You love her so much that she just makes you brain numb.
She's in all the Harry Potter movies. She was in Sweeney Todd, British actress. I just love it.
Oh, Helen Bonham Carter.
Yes, thank you. Oh my gosh, I could just see the H, and that was it. Like my brain didn't know any of that.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I forget about her.
You watch The Crown? I've watched The Crown.
I need to. Well, you're now obsessed with British women, so this.
Yes, I had to do a lot of research. Yes.
Yeah. All right, your favorite movie.
Favorite movie is it's a tie between The Color Purple and Beaches. I can't.
Nice. Beaches. Oh,
Beaches is my everything. Beaches.
Yeah,
is
that's a hard
The first time I saw New York City was like in Beaches. Like
You're like, there it is.
Yep.
So favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Duh.
Yeah.
Book.
Ooh. Oh, I remember reading Siddhartha when I was in high school, like a couple times. And I used to always say that was my favorite book. I haven't read a bunch of books in a while, so like I'll say that one. Maybe I should read it. I do love that book.
Yeah, you're like, gotta go back and visit that one.
I love that.
So your favorite animal?
Seals.
Seals. All right, cocktail.
Oh gosh. I like whiskey, Jameson. So like just straight up.
Straight up. Cut to the chase. New Yorkers don't joke around. All right, Joe Exotic or Carol Baskin?
Oh my gosh, Joe.
Like, what kind of question is that?
I'm not a husband killer. Get out of here.
No, free Joe. Free trip to Diana. Favorite flower?
Oh, I don't actually have a favorite flower. I don't have one.
There isn't one you're partial to? There isn't one that you're like...
No, not a sin. I really don't. And it's like my grandmother like loves flowers, like has a bunch of.
Yeah, I'm a flower fanatic. That's why flower bodegas in New York more than anything.
The only reason there was like some plant life in this house is because my boyfriend went and got them. Like I don't.
Got them for you. That's it. You're like favorite plant. You're like something that doesn't die. Are you a shower person or a bath person?
Shower, and I take I take one every day. I take one every day.
Are you like a run out all the hot water person, or are you in and out?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cat or dog, Sparkles. On Sparkles.
Oh yeah.
Where's she at? Oh, she is not having your interview.
No, she does not like. And if you're all following, you can. She has an Instagram at Sparkles SPARKLES Blake BLAYKE on Instagram. Sparkles Blake.
I will find her.
Oh yeah, she's great.
And who is your best friend?
Oh, my best friend is my mommy. That's from Spice World. Well, I would say that my mom is my best friend. Yeah.
I was like, your mom's pretty rad. Like,
I love her to pieces.
Yeah. And so what's your favorite TV show or series? What's your must watch?
My favorite TV show is The Golden Girls.
Oh.
Down. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why I even asked that. Lauren just did Sparkles his hashtag for you.
Thank you.
I appreciate that. What is your favorite place in New York City? Where is your
Wow. Oh my gosh. I love Far Rockaway Beach. Yeah. Far Rockaway Beach.
That's your getaway.
Yeah. Now I'm blanking on the name of that beach. Jones's Beach.
Jones Beach. Yeah.
I love Jones Beach. I used to live when I was my first 3 years out of school, I lived in Corona, Queens. I eventually found like there was a bus that would take me literally from like my home, Corona, Queens.
Oh.
I lived in Corona for like 3 years. Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. It was very cheap. It was way out of the way, but you know, I did love it. But there was a bus that would take me like literally from my apartment, but it was like an hour and a half all the way down to Jones Beach.
To Jones Beach.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful there. And so what is your favorite quote? Do you have a favorite quote?
Don't be sorry, be fierce.
Something I like that.
Fault sort of girls. Like, I'm so sorry I'm disappointing you. Don't be sorry, be fierce.
So hey, I have some a comment here from Mr. Merritt David James.
Oh my gosh.
No way. Merritt was our Farquaad on Shrek. It is hands down one of the most ridiculously talented human beings on the planet.
Yeah. Emphasis on
Friends Taking Over Broadway. He goes, "You are the weakest link in my chain of fools, but you're my strongest link in my garden of." Do the whole thing. He's like,
okay.
He goes, "I want to hear him sing it."
You know what? Say it again.
All right, Merritt. All right, you are the weakest link in my chain of fools, but you are my strongest link in my garden of.
Okay.
That's all Merritt said.
Okay, so when Merritt and I we were on tour together, sometimes like we were, you know, with room, there were enough rooms, Merritt and I would be together. And he came out with this song for me when he would, and that's so funny. I think it goes something like this. Andre Jordan, you're the weakest link in my chain of fools, but you're the strongest link in my garden. I think that's how it went. And I don't remember why, but like anytime that like, you know, he was having a bad day or something and I cracked a joke and like, he would just say it. I know like, Andre Jordan, you're the weakest link in my chain of fools. He would just sing it to me.
Merritt, I need to interview you on this thing. Yeah. He is hysterical.
I don't know if anyone knew that. I think that was just like a thing that he did for me. I don't think anyone ever knew that he sang.
Oh my God, that's hysterical. I love that so much. Of dreamy men. That's what he said.
Dreamy men, that's it. You're the weakest link in my chain of fools, but you're the strongest link in my chain of dream men. Yes, in my garden of dreamy men. That's it.
It's so random.
Although, right? It's weird poetry.
It's so random. That makes me cry. I'm so happy that Merritt's watching. Thank you for that really personal moment between the two of you from Shrek.
Yeah.
So our time is almost up, friend, but is there, with everything that's going on, deep breath. Thank you so much for taking our mind off of everything, and thank you for sharing
a lot of fun,
amazing Diana-ness with us. What do you have any personal mantras or advice that you're bestowing upon people that are helping, you know, get through these tough times?
Yeah. So like, you know, I've been here for 15 years working to get to this point. You know what I mean? I was very, very excited about like doing all this stuff, and for it to like stop has been really hard for me. Do you know what I mean? But like, I have these moments where I just am so grateful that I even got to say that I'm on hold on Broadway. Do you know what I mean? Like to say that I'm part of this. So like, just look around at everything you're grateful for. And like, you know, if you're quarantined in a home, you have a home. You know, if you're quarantined with your family, you have your family. You're quarantined with your bratty kids, they're there. You know what I mean? So just love your fellow man, love your neighbors, clap your friends, like, you know, hold your family close. You've been quarantined with. Do not hug strangers and wash your hands. But you know, this has been hard for, I think, a lot of people.
Yeah. I mean, I go through, I mean, for me, I go through my days. I woke up today and I just was crying. And I'm like, why am I crying? I'm crying. It's just, you know, and then some days, God, you know, also today I was mad and I bought boxing gloves. I'm like,
I also advocate for that. I mean, like, listen, we have to keep the economy going in some way. So feel free. I bought some candles the other day that came in. That's the brand behind me. Oh, no, those are nice.
Duh, they're pink.
Those are nice.
I was just like, I'm so angry right now. I just want to hit something. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy some boxing gloves. I'm like, Luke, you're about those little things, and I'm just going to beat the crap out of your palms.
Do it. But just, you know, we got this. We're going to get through this. And this is a crazy, crazy, crazy time. Like, and it's really like when I really like step back and think about what this moment in time will really feel like in like for it to be a blip in our real timeline. Do you know what I mean? Like this could theoretically only be as long as like one of our tours. You know what I mean? Like
which is even crazier to think about. Like,
I mean? Like because
but
it feels
so
like
epic. It
forever.
feels so
Yes,
forever.
and I know that it feels massive, and I know it feels heavy. Just keep tuning into fun things like this. Keep talking to people, and you know, yeah.
And thank God for social media. I think.
Can you imagine if like
I know there's so many haters.
If this had even happened in 1993, we would have all lost our minds.
Forget Corona. You know, the suicide rate would have been through the roof with actors. Like we're so fortunate that like we have it.
That's something to be grateful for. We have so much to be grateful for. It's all a mess right now, but like, well, I think we're going to be very surprised at how much we all
humanity in general.
Yeah.
And just know that everybody, you know, you guys are the epicenter, but you know that the rest of the country is watching New York City, and we are constantly, you know, I always feel guilty that I have the ability to walk out onto my patio and I get to go run around my neighborhood, and I can, you know, go down to a park and go hiking where it's not scary, where it's scary for you guys to walk out of your doors. But just know that the rest of the country is watching you guys and thinking about you, because you're bearing the brunt of it. So, but real quick before I lose you, what is your Instagram handle so we can have all awesome people follow you?
My Instagram handle is at manchair5, MANCHAIR5, and I came up with that on Shrek because Instagram came out when we were on the Shrek tour, and we were in Lafayette. It was Halloween week, and we all were at Howard Johnson's, and some of us had extra side rooms that had reclining chairs and like couches.
Yeah.
So I sat in that recliner man chair. I made my costume in that chair, and so that's why I call myself Man Chair.
Man Chair 5. That's.
I
love that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, my friend, and so proud of you. And this is such a delight to see your face and hear your stories. And Lauren's back with us.
Hey, how was it, Lauren?
I love this so much. I love just getting to know new friends, and it makes me want to go to New York and see all these shows now.
Yes. Please do.
Oh my goodness, yes. And I've heard the costumes are beautiful.
They're outstanding.
Yeah, when I was in William Ivy Long's studio, when he was just starting to talk about Diana, and he had this whole mood board in his studio, which was so cool. But he was like, okay, you can't take pictures over there because we haven't announced that yet. So you can take pictures over here. But yeah. So I think we need to take a field trip, Erin. We're going
in. Good to me. I'm on my way up. Love you, Andre. Thank you so much. And
thank you. Absolutely. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, guys. Let me